Kiati. I'm head of Joshi Advocates. Thank you very much for joining us in this video. This is inspired by all the telephone calls from individuals who married European nationals in 2021. So it's a spouse visa application 2021 update. We will just update in respect of the changes regarding Brexit, if any. So in the next 5 minutes, we will see the application, the documents, and the fees. Now, it's a spouse visa application in two different ways. One, the applicant is in the UK with a visa, or the applicant is in the UK without a visa. And finally, three, the applicant is outside the UK, right? So first we'll look at the simplest one. Applicant is outside the UK. It's the usual documents. One, the applicant's passport, current and valid, the British or settled, which is indefinite leave to remain EU settlement scheme, or the usual indefinite leave to remain, or refugee or humanitarian protection. That's the sponsor. Anybody else short of that cannot sponsor under the spouse visa application, right? So if your if your sponsor partner is an EA national, but with pre-settled status, less than indefinite, cannot sponsor the application, right? So that's the sponsor requirement. So we need the sponsor's current and valid passport and indefinite leave to remain endorsement, or refugee endorsement, or British passport, or the HP endorsement. So that's the second requirement. The third is the financial requirement, the marriage certificate, if you're married, in English language translation. And then if there are any previous divorces, then we will also need the decree absolutes. And then we have the financial requirement of 18,600. The sponsor must be earning before tax, and the sponsor must have had the job for at least 6 months before the date of the application. And finally, we have the maintenance requirement, which is where the sponsor has a tenancy agreement or a mortgage where the applicant would live at the address. And then we have the applicant's English language requirement, level A1, and the tuberculosis test requirement, where they check the lungs and see if the applicant's healthy, in the countries listed in the Home Office website. So this is the requirement and the documents where the applicant is outside the UK, right? And the Home Office fee is about just shy of £3,000, including immigration health surcharge and the biometric appointment. Now, say that the applicant is in the UK and they have a visa. The requirements are again the same, that they have a passport, they show their visa, they are married to somebody with a marriage certificate who is either British or settled, not pre-settled, settled, or refugee or humanitarian protection. Again, the marriage certificate, the financial requirements all remain the same. English language test remains the same. There is no TB test because the applicant is in the UK. Now, also there are exemptions. Just before we move on, if the sponsor who's British or settled, indefinite leave to remain, or refugee or HP, and they cannot meet the financial requirement, the exemptions are in the video in the description box below. But say if they get PIP or DLA or carers allowance, there's a list of the benefits. If the sponsor gets those particular benefits, then the sponsor is exempt from showing the income of 18,600 before tax annually. Now, finally, say that the applicant is in the UK unlawfully, so there's no visa, and he or she is married to a British or settled, indefinite leave to remain, or refugee or HP, but they have no visa, and they meet all the other requirements, that the sponsor is earning 18,600 before tax, English language. The Home Office asks the question, why can't you apply from the country of your nationality? What are the exceptional circumstances, right? So right now, it could be a child, if there's a British child in the relationship, or if there is a certain emotional dependency because the sponsor has certain medical conditions. Now, I'm not talking about depression or anxiety. I'm talking about something that is on a on a higher scale of mental health. So they're looking for exceptional circumstances. And Home Office, remember, could say you could leave the UK for a few months for your biometrics, and then you can come back in. Now, because the Home Office cannot guarantee the outcome, of course, the applicant would have to see how they move forward in the relationship. Now, the Home Office would always say, if you are unlawful in the UK, to show exceptional circumstances why you can't apply for entry clearance and follow the law. If you are unlawful in the UK and in a relationship by marriage with a British or settled or refugee or HP. Finally, again, check the description box below for the link where there are exemptions to the spouse visa requirement, financial, English language. Now, before we go, that is, if you are refused, there will be a right of appeal. But again, at court, the judge will ask the same question. Why can't you leave the UK to apply for entry clearance? Now, considering we've passed COVID-19, there's no more lockdown, as I'm making the video right now, 24th of August. So I wish you the best of luck. As always, contact me, details below, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.